Hey, good morning everyone. It's Nardi and we're doing the Daily Espresso today from Bawa Cafe in Hawthorne. Love this place, had to head back and I had to get those chili eggs today. So really, absolutely, they went down like a song. We've got Chris behind the cam as usual. What's going on? And Chris, speak up a little bit more because I was struggling to hear yesterday. So we need to, I can't just dominate all the time with my voice, but especially it's a bit noisy here. Self-awareness and unique ability, right? That's a huge thing for us, and it should be a huge thing for you in business. We're going to start by going straight to Chris with a question that he's got about self-awareness in business. Chris, throw it out. What do we got?
All right. So, as a business owner, how can you become more self-aware?
How can you become more self-aware?
How can you be more self-aware?
I don't think. Well, it's just not how. It's that you need to be, right? So let's forget about how do I do this? How do I? I'm not going to tell you how to tie your own shoelaces. You know how to do it, all right? Hopefully you know how to tie your own shoelaces. You've done it a million times. Self-awareness is something that you need to do. You need to start doing instead of learning how to do it. Being self-aware and when I say being self-aware, it's being self-aware of what you're great at doing, what you're not great at doing, who you are, what you love, what you hate, what your team's capable of doing, what your business is capable of doing, and then finding or tuning it up so it works great for you. So I'm going to dedicate this to focusing on you as the business owner, and I'm going to dedicate this to focusing on you as a business owner within a cafe restaurant industry or in a cafe restaurant business. How many times, Chris, have you walked in and I've walked in and you guys have walked into a cafe or restaurant and you can pick out the owner? How many times may that have been, right? A lot, right? Today we walked into Bawa, and I love Bawa and I love Shri. Shri, if you ever get a chance to watch this, love you, man. Love your stuff. He owns Bawa Cafe. He was one of the owners. Today I saw him and he was behind the sink washing dishes. I mean,
just behind you there, Nardi.
Well, it was over there, right?
Oh, he's
now, we know him, so we know that he was the owner, and the first thing that immediately comes to me is I've, as a customer, immediately I've been deprived of some of that value that he could have provided to me, and let me elaborate. The first time I came in here and he came and introduced himself, not as the owner, but obviously introduced himself. I knew who he was. I immediately saw value out of that. Him taking the time out, him taking the time out to chat to us, him taking the time out to, he was working the floor and doing what he does really well, and that's using his unique ability to be personable, right? And a lot of restaurant and cafe owners do that, and they do it really well. And
you'd almost argue that's why they got into business.
And that's why they got into business, because they were so good at that, right? They didn't get into business because they were great behind the bar, and they didn't get into business because they were great at, they were great washing dishes. There are chefs out there that get into business, and that's fantastic, and they're great because they're the person behind the amazing creations that go on. But they become very well known for that fact. But when you have someone that's not being self-aware of what they're fantastically, amazingly good at, and they're not using that unique ability to allow them to leverage and build their business, well then what they're doing is a disservice to themselves, the people that work for them, and their business and so on, right? So self-awareness is something that I want everyone to do, or be, employ, and it starts with taking a real good look at yourself in the mirror and being honest with yourself and working out, and look, I call it the top 6, work out the top 6 things that you are awesome at and that you love to do. Because if you don't love to do it, then you should not do it. And if you're not great at doing it, then don't try. All right, now a big one that I'm going to push here, because it's very easy for me to do it because I'm an accountant by trade, is bookkeeping, right? How many business owners out there sit on their books, data entering and pushing in information into an accounting system? How many? The numbers are staggering, right? The numbers are somewhere within the small business space it's about 84%. So 16% of small businesses actually outsource their bookkeeping or have someone else do it. right? And the rest sit there using old school methods because they're too busy, caught up in the whirlwind to go out there and find a solution to make it better. They do it themselves, and they block out a day, and they lose time with their family, or they lose time with their friends, or they lose time giving back to the community or impacting the world in this particular way, making their business awesome, engaging with their team. And they do that to do something that really they should not do. Why? Because that is not part of their unique ability skill set. If it was, hey, why are you in the restaurant game? Go off and become an accountant or a bookkeeper if that's your unique ability. So being self-aware of that is absolutely crucial, that you go, hey, I'm not good at bookkeeping and I absolutely friggin' hate it. I'm going to get someone else to do it. Whoever it is, we're not saying who you should get to do it, just don't do it yourself. If you're amazing on the floor, if you're amazing motivating, amazing at motivating, engaging with your team, training them up, getting them to do awesome stuff, creating new products, developing your menu, working with suppliers, that's your unique ability, and you need to be self-aware of that, and you need to draw a line in the sand and say, that is it. I'm going to get those people in, or delegate, or stop doing that stuff that's adding no value to me succeeding and achieving, great things. And I'm going to focus on what I can do. Right? That's it, plain and simple. So self-awareness is crucial in this space. How does that sound, Chris? So,
I think that's pretty good.
I can't teach you to be self-aware, but what I can tell you to do is to become self-aware. You don't need to learn how to be self-aware. You know if you're injured, you know if you're feeling happy, you know if you're feeling sad, you know if people are unhappy at you, you know if your business is not doing well. All right? The awareness is there already. So all you need to do is bring it back to yourself and be self-aware of what you are great at, what you are not great at. Chris here is my business partner. He's great at certain things that I'm not great at. I'm great at things that he's not great at, right? There's a huge discussion about putting Chris in front of the camera and getting him involved. And you know what? He understands. Well, Chris, you understand that you love the organisation. And look, if it wasn't for Chris, then we would not be able to. The Daily Espresso would not be a regular thing with momentum and structure and organisation, because Chris is amazing at that. Great planner. Plans it well, hey, holds the camera, and very steady taker. Chris, really good. And because of that, it's having that self-awareness and then understanding what he's good at and then focusing on that. And we're fortunate we've got a partnership relationship that, you can have someone good at something, someone not so good at something. Okay, good. The person great at doing it, you do it. And the person loved doing it, you do it. Whoever's not, you don't do it. Right? Very simple thing. If you're on your own, well then it's not all a loss, and it's very much still possible where, okay, you don't need to go out and get a partner so they can become your bookkeeper. That's a big, I wouldn't recommend that at all. But you can delegate. You can get your accountant to assist, you can get a bookkeeper on board, you can get someone who's might have a past in that space within your business who is self-aware that that's great for them, and get them to fill in that gap. So be self-aware, understand what you're great at, focus on your top 6 things or top 3 things or top 1 thing, and go with that. Start, stop, and continue doing what you shouldn't be doing, or what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and what you're great at doing. If you can focus on that, if you understand and where your unique ability is, where you add the best value to a business, then you're going to very quickly succeed. And we're going to be happy because you're going to be happy, and you're going to tell us you're happy, and we're going to get amazing. We're going to feel an amazing reward of hopefully getting you guys to be some more self-aware. So, self-awareness. It's Friday. We've capped off the week. Reflect. Take the weekend to reflect on what you're awesome at. Really push your self-awareness. Focus on what you're going to do on Monday, and then the rest of the week, and smash it out. This is the Daily Espresso. It's Friday. We're coming from Bawa, Nadi, Chris behind the camera.
Thanks for all the
Thanks
shares.
for watching.
Keep sharing.
Thanks
keep
for
liking.
the shares, guys. Thanks for
Love
liking.
engagement.
Thanks for the comments. You're a driving force behind keeping this going. Thanks. We love it. Cheers for Bawa for having us. See you on Monday.